actually left for this new role at Startup America only, I moved about 12 months ago, so I had been here for 10 years, went to grad school at Duke, and I've already met a few fellow alumni, and a few that are looking at me like they did not go to Duke. But it is great to be back. And just real quickly, I'll spend a little bit of time on Startup America, but really this is all about Startup North Carolina, and it's really, as Mital had highlighted, it's really about grassroots. It's really about entrepreneur to entrepreneur, and it's also about really raising our collective game across the country. You are now a part of 26 other states that have launched, and you gain access to resources not only from the national level, but relationships and knowledge and best practices and opportunities all across the country as we really put together the largest national ecosystem of startups that frankly ever existed. So before I dive in, I wanted to give a little bit of a sense of Startup America. So I run our partnerships at Startup America, really focused in on activating the private sector. In some ways, reminding old companies that they used to be startups. So there were folks like Thomas Edison that started a company named GE. It happened to feel like, for most of us, that GE's always been there. But the reality is, they were a startup. They were an idea. Edison looked for capital. He was told no many, many times. He failed multiple times. But ultimately, that is the story of America, and really we're looking to tell that story of this new wave of startup activity and entrepreneurial activity. So ultimately, Startup America is really here to help startups across the country with three main things: talent, customers, and capital. I think it's the three major pain points of every entrepreneur, and we look to do that through access to relationships. That may be startup to startup, that may be startup to a community builder around the startup ecosystem, and also may be relationships very directly with investors or corporations as potential customers or small businesses as potential customers. We also provide opportunities and deals, things to help you get started early in your journey, as well as resources to help you scale later in the process. And then finally, we really focus in on knowledge. Knowledge sharing, none of it's top-down. It's very much activating and accessing the serial entrepreneurs from all over the country, leveraging technology to frankly allow you to connect with iconic entrepreneurs or thought leaders in particular areas, and really unleashing the knowledge and the best practices, and as we say, helping entrepreneurs make new mistakes instead of old mistakes, because new mistakes are another word for innovation. And so we're super excited to be here. You join 9,000 other startups. You join 26 other states, as I mentioned. You join over 100 corporations that have pledged their support and done so in many ways through what is right now about 100 deals worth $1.5 billion in aggregate of in-kind contributions and discounts and other things for startups across the country, as well as corporations like the New York Stock Exchange, which in a couple weeks here will be going public with a new platform that they're launching called Corporate Connections, which allows America's startups to connect with big corporations as potential partners, as potential client-vendor relationships. The list goes on and on. So we're super excited to be here, and it really is a pleasure. I've been to a lot of these launches, don't tell the other states, but I'm so excited to be here in North Carolina and to see North Carolina get started. Clearly a foundation of entrepreneurship in the state, clearly a center of gravity for innovation, and to see such a large set of the community turn out for this launch, while certainly the team who put the event together feels like this is a major culmination, they also know that this is just the beginning. It's about each of you contributing. It's about the ideas we're going to discuss here this afternoon. It's about the stories that we're going to hear from our great keynotes to drive forward the broader ecosystem. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Brooks Bell. Brooks probably doesn't need an introduction, but I will do it anyway. As researching Brooks, and I didn't know this until I read the bio, she was actually born, I believe, born and raised in the great state of Alaska, which is really far from here. but then saw the light and decided to go to Duke University. She has multiple entrepreneurial journeys, many of which actually happened during her undergrad years, both as a franchisee of Tuition Painters, as well as launching her second entrepreneurial effort, Novel Projects, while still at Duke. After graduating from Duke, she started Brooks Bell in 2003 and quickly gained several keynote enterprise customers and really hasn't stopped since. Has really become the leading independent conversion optimization firm in the U.S. Brooks regularly speaks at the local universities as well as other universities, and I've caught a few at corporate summits. Really a champion for the entrepreneurial ecosystem, and we're really lucky to not only have her here in the North Carolina region, but also here as a speaker. So Brooks, over to you.